Hey Annie, I wanted to go over your paper with you, or your paragraph. And so the very first thing I noticed is that you did not indent. This is a basic in writing. That is the one thing that I want you to make sure that you do when we get into paragraph 3 and 4 is that you make sure that you indent. So you're going to hit the tab key on the left hand side of your keyboard, hit that tab key once so you indent. I like the simplicity of your topic sentence. It's good. So your second sentence, I was sitting in my room doing my homework. You're not going to say it like that. You don't need it. You don't need a comma there. I was sitting in my room doing my homework. You don't need a comma there. So I would probably have flip-flop these because you're giving the date, the year, and then right here as a Wednesday evening, a quiet night. I was sitting in my room doing my homework. So that I would have just flipped these two sentences here. That's it. That's minor. This next one, my phone was in my hand. It rings. This is an example of a comma splice. So you have a complete sentence here. My phone was in my hand. That's a complete sentence joined with a comma. It rings. Even though that's really short, it's only 2 words. You have a subject and you have a verb. You have it rings. That's a complete sentence. It'd be like she runs, he called, I jumped. Those are complete sentences. So because you have a subject, you have a verb. So you have 2 complete sentences here and you just joined it with a comma. That makes this a comma splice. These 2 sentences go hand in hand. So I would join these 2 with a semicolon. You could make them 2 sentences. You could put an and, my phone was in my hand, comma, and it rings. So the next thing I notice here is just within this sentence, with the paragraph, you have to be careful with switching tenses. So your phone was in your hand, that's past tense. And they say it rings, that's present. So you're switching tenses. This was all in the past tense, so I would write it all in the past tense. So go through, look at your verbs. My phone was in my hand, semicolon, it rang. It was my best friend. So that's the next thing. So the next thing is this, it reads kind of choppy because you have a lot of simple sentences back to back. It was October in the year 2017. I was sitting in my room doing my homework. It was a Wednesday evening, quiet night. My phone is in my hand. It rings. That's somewhat how it reads, that tone there, because you have a lot of simplicity to this. You have a lot of simple sentences back to back. So that gives this the feel of being choppy. So she wasn't speaking, but I could hear her breathing heavily on the other end. That's a good sentence. So she finally blurts out, you use this is correct. It was a 30-minute drive to her house. Complete sentence. I had a bad feeling coming over me. So again, complete sentence, joined with a comma. That's another comma splice. So comma splice, tense shifting, choppiness. So those are the 3 things so far we're going to work on. That's about it. I smelled fire, just the smell of something burning. We were close to her house. So again, another comma splice. So that's the biggest thing. So comma splice, complete sentence, joined with a comma, no conjunction. That makes it a comma splice. And I think we talked about this a little bit, as was not this sentence, but as we pulled up, she ran up to me. We faced what was once a house, but now it was nothing. So this is a comma splice. The wind felt like it was going 40 miles an hour. Just the smell hit our noses. That's another comma splice. Complete sentence, joined with the comma splice. So, I would elaborate on this. The wind felt like it was going 40 miles an hour. I would have reworded it, and I think we talked about this when we went over your rough draft. Just say, the wind was stirring up the smell of the smoke filling our noses, something like that. So I would have rephrased that. Again, with the comma splice, the firefighters finally put it out. We went inside, comma splice, complete sentence. All the picture, all the furniture, it was all but ash now. So all the pictures, all the furniture, I would put a dash on that. It was all but ash now. And then you would need a concluding sentence. You would need something that wrapped all of this up, that tied this up, nice neat little bow that says, I'm done, this paragraph is done. Thought you could have used a little bit more descriptive in here. We talked about that a little bit in your rough draft. So but the main thing that I want you to take away from this is the biggest thing is going to be one, indent, and then I want you to make sure that you are checking for those comma splices. So I hope this helps, and we will talk to you soon.